I started in this industry a little bit by mistake. Right after college, I started my own business, and one day my chartered accountant, instead of bringing me a book, brought me a computer lease thing. And I figured, oh, that's cool. You know, I wanted to automate my entire business. I contracted a company, a little VAR, to write the software. They came to me and did a terrible job. And so overnight, I learned basic AppleSoft and DOS 3.3. And so for your viewer, that's going to date my age, of course. And I rewrote the application to my liking. The person that was running that company, of course, wanted to get paid for their work, and I refused to pay because I said, you didn't do what I wanted. And so one day he was in my office, and I showed him the rewritten software, and he said, you know what? You don't have to pay me. Why don't you come work with me? And so that's how I ended up in the IT business. I developed a pretty large VAR business in France that I sold. And then I came to the US. My wife is American. I came to the US through one of the very hot startup at the time in the disk drive industry called Connor Peripherals. Connor, got acquired by Seagate. I worked for Seagate for a while. Then I worked in the channel, still in Europe. And then I had the good fortune to join IBM to run their worldwide storage business, which allowed me to come and settle down in Silicon Valley. I then went on and worked as anyone at the time would do in the year 2000 with a software company, a startup called WebGain. We printed our S1. We were ready to go public, and then 9/11 happened. And we never went public. So I almost retired once already in my life. And in the middle of selling the company, I basically got a call to go run sales at AMD. And those were the days where, that was an up-and-coming company that was basically a consumer company trying to take on Intel. We had the good fortune to be first to market with 64-bit processor, and I had the good years where we really gave Intel a run for their money. I then wanted to get out of the PC business and broaden my expertise in other spaces. And so an opportunity that was really interesting came up at Freescale Semiconductor, which was the spin out of Motorola Semiconductor. At the time, it was held by private equity. Company was in trouble, and I had the good fortune to join at the bottom. And through hard work with the team, we were able to bring it back to the public markets in 2011. So, I spent almost 15 years working in Austin, always being based here in Silicon Valley. And I was tired of going back and forth to Austin on top of my 300,000 international miles. And so I decided to join SanDisk. And had a great run there, running the non-retail part of the company, which is about 2/3 of it. And we sold the company to Western Digital. And at the time, I thought, okay, now I'm retiring. And in the midst of that sale, I got a phone call from a colleague of mine that had joined NetApp that asked me if I could come and help with a turnaround. And as you know, at the time, 5 years ago, NetApp was pretty much written off as one of the companies that was going to go out of business. And, I enjoyed really working with George Kurian to turn things around and bring it to where it is today. But I had made it clear that, I only had 4 years of runway. So I'm retired, as I promised myself, as of the month of June. And I'm now, because I'm still in good health, interested in helping a few startups, including Aviso. My corporate life is over, but not my intellectual and sales leadership life.